The ninth sanctions package has blacklisted nearly 200 Russian individuals and entities. The restrictions primarily hit the mining industry. In addition, the European Parliament has agreed to provide Ukraine with another 18 billion euros in financial aid. President Volodymyr Zelensky reminds us how much depends on Russia's strategy to destroy Ukraine's energy infrastructure. Let me be clear, Russia will not succeed. Ukraine will be surrounded by our support until the last day of the war. However, the consultations preceding the compromise concluded yesterday were extremely difficult. Some countries, including Poland, demanded a further expansion of the ninth sanctions package. Economic sanctions extend the list of dual-use items under enhanced export controls. This is very important. Anyone who knows the characteristics of the Russian economy knows how much they wanted such a sanction not to appear in this package. Meanwhile, Belarusian media reported that Vladimir Putin is scheduled to visit Minsk on Monday. This will be the first meeting between Putin and Alexander Lukashenko to take place in Belarus after nearly 3 years. The president's consultations will precede Belarusian military maneuvers. Their purpose, according to the Russian Federation Defense Ministry, is to build operational coordination. He will persuade and coerce Lukashenko to join this ground operation, which he is undoubtedly preparing from the Belarusian territory as well. And this is at least indicated by the many Russian soldiers who are met by the Belarusian public in stores in various regions and who say they are about to leave for Ukraine. The ongoing offensive in the Donbass and the indiscriminate shelling of Ukraine's critical infrastructure were intended by the Kremlin to force Kiev into peace negotiations. Failure of this strategy, according to experts, could contribute to a renewed offensive and assault on cities deep inside Ukraine as early as the beginning of the upcoming year. Since mid-October, we have seen a steady increase in Russian military units on the territory of Belarus. In this way, the Kremlin is using the officers and training grounds of Belarus to prepare new units of the armed forces of the Russian Federation. They are unable to launch any kind of strike from Belarus. Let's remember that since the month of October, practically Russia's equipment has been transported deep into the territory of the Russian Federation. The Russian army has been shelling Ukraine's energy system for weeks. The scale of the destruction wrought by the Russians is unprecedented. Moldova's energy operator today reported power disruptions caused by Russian missile attacks on Ukraine.
Around 50 cruise missiles have been shot, and we already have some blasts in Dnipro, Kharkiv, Kryvyi Rih, Kiev and Kiev region. Our anti-missile system works quite well, but due to the high quantity of cruise missiles.
Unfortunately, the consequences of the Russian invasion of Ukraine are also sometimes more frightening. The abolition by the Russian Duma of criminal responsibility for crimes committed by soldiers in the occupied territories is an outright legalization of looting, rape, and murder. Is it now clear why the creation of an international tribunal for Russia is a necessity? While Moscow claims that attacks on critical infrastructure are militarily justified, Ukraine and the West recognize that this indirect assault on civilians is a war crime. The Netherlands is ready to have a new UN-backed tribunal on its territory to try Russian crimes against Ukraine.